Welcome to a slightly different edition for episode 8 of Run With. Today I am catching up with Gemma Lewis, aka At This Girl Can Run Far, and she's going to be doing a time trial, and I'm also going to be interviewing her as well. So today I am at Lydney Lake for the infamous now Lydney Lake 5k time trial. Today Gemma is going to take it on. She has been here before a couple of months ago, and a lot of you wanted to know how she was going to get on with her 5k training. So we're back here today and see how much Gemma has improved since the first time that she took on the time trial. It's a nice day for it, nice weather, and it looks a bit quieter than the last time Gemma took it on, where she fell out with a few dog walkers. Warmed up then, Gemma?
I'm ready.
You're ready to go, and this is your second time at Lydney Lake 5k.
It is.
It is. So your first time, for anybody who hasn't watched, was
21:58.
21:58. And if you do want to go back, you can see Gemma's first attempt at the time trial. And Gemma's just PB'd last week, is that right?
I did.
With what time?
20:56.
20:56. That's huge.
Yeah, it's 8 weeks of work.
8 weeks of work,
Yeah.
and that was the result. So Gemma's in the fortunate position today that she's just going to go and have a crack, aren't you? You're just going to go and put it all out there.
Yep.
So no time goals as such, just run hard, and see what she comes up with.
Hang on.
And hang on for dear life.
hang on, like the back of a train, hang on.
Now she's waiting for Matt, who's, I don't know what he's doing. Issues with your watch?
Set up the splits, getting it all ready.
He's ready.
Are you Mr. Serious?
Come storming
I'm
past
not
me.
going to. Well, give me a countdown.
Do you want me to do mark, set, go?
Do a countdown.
I'll do mark, set, go, okay? Marks, set, go. I thought it would be a great time to grab Gemma and talk all things running and everything, really, with Gem, after her 5k time trial that she's just done.
I have, which hence the red. I don't know. Am I still a bit red?
You're a
little bit. little bit. Bit beetroot on the scale.
You've got the afterglow.
Thanks.
You've got the afterglow. So, Gem, come
Yes.
on. Today you have been running around really fast around Lydney Lake.
I have.
But you have had to work to get here.
So hard, yeah.
How you started running, because you've got an incredible story.
Which bit would you want to know? The beginning? The very beginning?
Let's talk about why. Right. Okay. So why did you start running?
So originally I started running because I wanted to lose weight, and I had very limited kind of resources. So I had my first daughter. I've always been slim. I used to ride horses, and then I realised after I had my first daughter that I didn't go back to work. So I needed to lose the weight, and I didn't really have the money to go to the gym, so my gym membership had to go. And then I just had to think of a free way to lose weight. So I just picked up some old shoes that I'd had about 6 years, and I just assumed that anyone could run, which is not correct. So I picked up these old shoes and got out the door, and I ran for 0.4 of a mile and burst into tears and declared I hated it. It was awful, never again. Never again, I hated it.
Yeah.
So I just, something inside of me just said, well, try again. Like, you haven't really got a lot of options, so you're gonna have to try again. Yeah. So I did, and eventually kind of, ran for a mile, but it was hard. I had no guidance, no help. And it was really, I had no...
Just doing your own thing.
Yeah, but I just had no guidance. I was doing it all wrong. So I was going out every time trying to run faster than the time before. Yeah. Classic newbie mistakes. But I didn't really have any guidance, so...
Well done, Gem. Looking good. Looking great. Well done, Gem. Post it, no. Find out. So Gemma is on her second lap, and she's looking really good. She's obviously concentrating, she's obviously digging in deep, and hopefully she can just stick at it and bash those laps out. So you started running, you started to lose weight, and you're hating it, but you're getting into it.
Yep.
Let's talk about your first race, because your first big race, I guess, was Race to the Stones. Is that right?
No, my first big race was Bristol Half Marathon.
Right, okay.
That was my first goal, was to run a half marathon. So I went from nothing to a half marathon in 6 months, and I wanted to go into 2 hours, and I trained for it completely incorrectly, but I did manage to run 1:58.
Which is really good. 7:2.
Yeah, I was really, really happy. I had to grind really hard for that. But again, I was training, I didn't have any guidance, so I just, ran and didn't really run properly, but I ran my sub-2. And then I got pregnant for a second time, ditched running completely. I wasn't going to be one of these people that ran through my pregnancy. I gained loads more weight. I gained 4 stone the second time.
So when you decided not to run through your pregnancy,
Yep.
so you were a runner because you'd done your health.
Yep.
What was it for you that made you think, I don't want to run through my pregnancy?
It didn't.
Because a lot of women try.
They
A
do.
lot of women do.
They do, and kudos. But actually, for me, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I initially ran because I wanted to lose weight, and I didn't want to lose weight in pregnancy, or even, I just felt really unhappy about doing it. It didn't feel right to me. So for me, it wasn't my body anymore. It was housing someone else, and I did not feel comfortable doing it. So I just completely stopped. So after I had my second daughter, I assumed that I could, 6 weeks, I was kind of chomping at the bit, ready to get out there, had a water birth, it was fantastic. But I put my trainers on, and I was really quite damaged by that birth and that pregnancy. And I had pubic symphysis. Anyone that's ever had pubic symphysis, it's nasty. And it took 10 months of rehab before I could even go out at all. So I tried for that first run at 6 weeks. I was like, yes, let's do this. And then it was like, oh, actually, you can't run a step. It's agony. So I had to completely bin it and go right back to the beginning, rehab it completely, which took 10 months. So when Rosalie was 10 months old, I started my journey again. But that's when obviously the journey changed and got a little bit more serious.
Yeah, so I guess that was quite a big break with the pregnancy, then
Yep.
waiting 10 months.
Huge,
So you're
huge.
talking
2 years.
Yeah,
2 year
that's
gap.
part of 2
Yeah,
years.
2 year gap.
So when you start again, you're starting from scratch, but you take it on a bit more seriously this time, would you say?
Massively. So that's when the journey really changed me. So I discovered parkrun, and that changed everything, because I had a little picture of me going up the hill at Ashton Court with my little backpack on, which had my phone inside.
I will
which
find the pictures.
Oh my God,
it's-
yeah. I mean,
it's
it's a hydration backpack, but I had my phone in it because I didn't understand that you could wear a belt. But it was me going up a hill, and I sent it into This Girl Can campaign because I wanted the words hot and not bothered over my picture. I felt quite powerful in this picture. I felt quite empowered, like just had a baby, well, not really just, but she was about a year old, and I was running up this hill and had this backpack on. I'm like, this is it now, this is me. And I felt really empowered. But actually that picture ended up changing everything, because what I didn't realise was that picture, even though yes, you got your hot and not bothered across your image, they were actually scouting for models. They wanted to put some real girls in their campaign into a clothing line for Marks and Spencer's, and I didn't realise that. So my picture was actually
judged.
selected,
Yeah.
but I was a backup plan. I want to make that very clear. I was a backup plan.
Oh, Jen.
So I was. So I got an email in my junk folder, which I didn't know I had, and it was inviting me to come to London to do this photo shoot for M&S. They
Amazing.
wanted real girls because the girl had pulled out. So I was a backup.
Okay, she was a backup.
I was a backup. I actually was. I was a backup.
But first backup.
First backup, and I got the email, and it was, can you come to London? And it would have been the next day. So I literally got that email with no time at all. So I rang them, I said, I'm so sorry, I never got this email. I've just got it now, it's in my junk. Do you still need me? And they're like, yes, can you get to London tomorrow? And I was like, okay. So I rang my dad, he's a taxi driver, and I said, can you take me to London? And he said yes. So I went to London and I did the photo shoot. Because I hadn't worked for so long, they paid me £300, and I wanted to do something with that money. I didn't want to just do nothing with it. I wanted to do something with that money. So with that money, I just thought, what is the biggest challenge you can think of? And I didn't even know what ultra running was, really. I just saw an advert on Facebook for Race to the Stones, and they all looked so happy.
Yeah.
You know, they were dancing around fields.
Yeah.
They just looked like majestic.
Yeah.
You know, and they just looked so happy. And I just thought, I know, I'm going to run 100K from not running a half 2 years ago. I literally hadn't ran over probably 5 miles.
Yeah.
thought I'm gonna do it.
No natural progression with Gemma.
Zero.
No.
There never has been. Nope.
Building up to the ultramarathon.
No, I hadn't done a marathon at that point either. And I did a half, 2 years previous, 3 years previous. So there is no middle ground with me. I'm all in or I'm all out.
Yeah,
so
and I think
that's my personality.
You can see that from your time trials. You give everything. You're looking so good, Gem. So Gemma is 3 laps in. In fact, now she is probably halfway. And she is looking really, really good. She's absolutely flying. I'm sure she's going to graft as hard as she can to stick at it.
Come on, Gemma. Strong. You've done this before. You know the pain goes away. Come on. That's it. Right on me.
So you've got your £300 and you put it towards...
I did. Race the Stones, because ultras aren't cheap and there's camping involved, so I was doing it in 2 parts. I was doing day 1, 50k, day 2, 50k. And I put the money towards that, and that's when I started my Instagram account on the 10th of January 2016, because I actually wanted to document the journey of not being a runner really to hopefully becoming a runner.
Yeah.
So I put This Girl Can because that's part of the campaign. I wanted to put run, but that was taken. Yeah. So I just put far, thinking I hope I can run far, but I don't actually know.
You're aiming to run
I'm
far.
aiming to run far, but there's no guarantees. And I just wanted to put it on there so I didn't bore my Facebook friends. That really was the whole purpose of my account, was to just document the training. So I put it on Facebook. And I was like, look guys, if you're interested in my training, there's about 400 Facebook friends. If you want to come across and watch my training, you can. And 14 of that 400, which shows the interest levels of my Facebook friends, 0, they didn't care, came across. So 14 of my real friends came across to watch my training. And then it just started to snowball.
Yeah.
I started to connect to people that were also running Race to the Stones, and also connecting with other runners that had run 100k and were giving me help and advice. And it's something that I found was this community of people that could help me. And I never had that before. I was always on my own. I always didn't really know what I was doing, but I found this community that people had done it, or people were on the same journey as you.
Yeah.
And I found it absolutely life-changing from that point.
Absolutely. Well, to start off from humble beginnings.
Absolutely.
You're that person that has the big following on Instagram, and you inspire so many people with your efforts. We'll talk about your latest adventure in a minute.
Of course.
So you go for this ultra marathon. And so let's talk about what kind of training you did. Briefly, what kind of things did you do to get ready for your first 100k?
I followed the Race the Stones plan. There was a plan, so when I signed up, they sent me a plan, and I stuck to it like glue.
Yeah.
So I literally followed the 100k plan for Race the Stones.
You're very good at now, aren't you?
Yes. Plan.
Because now you've got a coach with Charlotte.
Yep.
And you're very good at. Gemma's one of these people that if it's on plan, she is.
Oh my God.
She is there, and she is knocking at plan's door.
Plan is life, and I'm a big believer in plan is life. If you have a plan, you have a map, and you follow that map.
Yeah.
And if you don't follow that map, you're not going to get to where you need to go. And I understand sometimes injuries, niggles make you kind of deviate from that plan, but plan is life. Unless otherwise stated, you stick to that plan, because that will take you where you need to go, and you stick to it like glue.
Yeah, so you are a little bit different to me, because you're also very good at planning what events you do, your races, and you stick to your schedule.
Yep.
Whereas I'm quite flighty. I change my minds quite a bit.
You do.
Well, let's do this, let's do
You're
that.
a bit like a magpie, as in you see something a bit, you're like, oh, I like the look of that. Oh, that's a nice little race.
So shallow.
Didn't say that.
I mean, you've inspired me at the moment to crack on with my 5k. Because you have really been working at it hard, haven't you?
I have. It's not natural for me. I mean, I'm a distance runner, and it's what I enjoy the most. But actually, last year I had a series of quite nasty injuries, and I just really needed to look at where I was going wrong. And it didn't take me very long to discover where I was going wrong. I was not doing any strength training. I was doing no core or stability work. I was just running 6 days a week and not doing any of the other stuff. And also I was neglecting my speed. I would always say that speed made me injured, or I was wearing compression socks constantly because I always had lower leg niggles. I always had niggles all the time. And it was because I was neglecting the strength and the speed. And I just thought, if I stay away from it, if I play it safe, if I don't do any speed work for my marathon, I won't get injured. And I didn't get injured, but it also meant that I didn't get the best marathon time I know that I'm capable of, because I was shying away from the things I needed to do to make me strong, to lift weights, to do the things I didn't want to do, which I now enjoy. I actually enjoy speed sessions.
And it has paid dividends in all instances for you.
It has.
Well done, you're looking great. Come on, stick at it. Come on, Jen, that's it, stick with him, come on. You love it, come on. Use it. So that's the 5th lap for Gemma, and she is hanging on to Matt. She is hurting, you can see it, it's all over her face. But do you know what? She's giving it everything, and that's what a 5K is all about, right? So your first marathon, what was your first marathon time?
So I ran London, that was my first road marathon. 2017 I was training for London and I got a stress fracture in the February, so that put me out. So I went back to it the year after, which was 2018. It was that heat wave, and I ran 3:46. So I missed my good for age time by 77 seconds in that heat wave. And I'll never forget, Matt, actually, I was very upset about it because I put so much into that cycle. I really worked for it and I'd missed it. I missed my goal. And I'm not one of those people that makes excuses. You either do it or you don't.
Yeah.
There's no try. You do or you don't. And I'll never forget, I messaged Matt and I was really upset about it. He said, but Gemma, people miss their target by 15, 20 minutes that day. You missed it by 77 seconds.
Yeah.
He said, for me, you had that race, as in, if you pick one person that had that race, it was you. You, to me, shined out of everyone I know that did London. And I was like...
That race was horrific.
It was horrific. It was actually traumatic. And when people are posting about getting in the ballot for London, I'm still traumatised by it 2 years later. I don't want to do London again ever, because people were collapsing in front of me, shoving for water. I didn't have this magical experience of London. I think also what I learned the hard way is people will build up a race, or in their minds they'll talk about a race and they'll be like, oh my God, it's the best. It's the best for them. I'm not a crowd runner. I don't like crowds. I like to be in the middle of nowhere with some cows. That's where I'm at home, or somewhere where no one else goes. They're my races. I don't like crowds. So for me, London was never going to be this magical race. But I built it up because everyone else said, London's so great. But I didn't think it was. For me.
I think you've got to be, I think London is fantastic for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I do think that it's amazing for the charity runners.
Yes, it is. And I was running for a charity. I did, to get my place.
3:46.
Yeah.
For your first marathon.
Yeah.
In that heat.
I know.
It is amazing.
It was amazing, but then it really drove me. Matt, as I said, messaged me and said, Gemma, please don't be disappointed. But then it really fueled me for what came next. So what came next was me thinking, do you know what? I don't want the good for age for London, because I don't even want London again ever. I want Boston.
She skipped London.
I skipped it. I just thought, no, I didn't want it. I just thought,
no, Boston qualifying is a lot of people.
It's harder.
It's one for me.
It is an absolute dream. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to
work to get in Boston.
You do. You have to really, and you can't buy your way into Boston. And for me, somebody like me who didn't go to university and didn't really make it, I think Boston for me is that it's that graduation. Yeah. It's like you work so hard to get into Boston. To get on that line is a privilege. And I thought, I'm going to show myself that someone like me can do something like that. Yeah. And I'm like, right, what have I got to do? So I recovered from London, and then for 6 months I grafted, and I went.
Typical Gemma style.
I did, and I went to Montreal as my prep race, because my big race was Abingdon that year. And I went to Montreal, and because I'm so stupid, I didn't realise that a marathon is 42k. So I got, they work in K over there, and I'm a miles runner. So when it got to 40k, I thought, right, hang on in there for 5K. You got this, you got this. And of course, a marathon's 42. So when I got to 42K and my watch clicked at 3:30, I just ran a 3:30 and
That's it.
that was it. I'd done Boston by accident.
You've done it.
By accident.
A casual
I thought I would come in at, maybe 3:35, but no, I came in at 3:30 and that was I accidentally qualified for Boston.
That's huge.
Massive,
It's such a big
massive.
time. Yeah.
And then a month later, I went to my goal race because with Montreal, I was running 4 miles on, 4 miles off, 4 miles on, 4 miles off, and I did that for 26 miles. But with Abingdon, I went all out and I got 3:23. So I went underneath 3:25, which was
Another 7 minutes off a marathon.
yeah.
I mean, and then that's 2019, so that's a year after your first.
No, that was the same year. Same
sorry,
year.
yeah, so that's
2018, and then I went and did it again the year after.
So that's even crazier. Even crazier.
Yeah.
You're that committed, and you worked so hard.
I have to. I don't seem to have that natural ability that a lot of other runners have. So I have to work 5 times as hard to get the same result as others. I don't have that natural ability, so I just have to work harder than others.
And during these training cycles for what turned out to be your Boston qualifier at Abingdon,
Yep.
were you doing the strength then? Were you doing
Nope.
the speed?
Nope.
So this marathon PB has come off just running
Yes.
before you saw the benefits.
I'm excited to see what I can do with a proper cycle with speed and strength, because I don't know yet.
Me too.
Haven't done it.
Excited.
Haven't done it.
Yeah.
Haven't done it yet.
But it's paying off with your short stuff.
It is. It massively is paying off, and I just can't really explain the difference in. So 8 weeks ago, I decided that I wanted to have a look at my 5K. It was the distance that didn't really add up. If you look at a 3:23 marathon, my 5K doesn't really match. And I just wanted to really have a go at it, a real blast. So I decided that race or no race, and I did have a race booked, I just wanted to see what I could do. So I came here to Lydney Lake.
The infamous Lydney.
Yep,
Okay.
and I ran with Matt, and my PB was set in 2018, again, when I was really marathon fit, and it was 21:15. So I came here to the lake just to see where I was, and I hadn't raced in 8 months. I mean, the last time I raced was December. So I came here in August to see what I could do, and I ran 21:58, and it absolutely killed me. And I was so far off 21:15, and I just didn't know if I could.
We have got that time trial. If you do, I will put the link at the top, but you can see Gemma's first attempt.
It was awful. So bad.
But it was only 8 weeks ago, because now
It
you're here
was.
today.
I was, yeah.
And you've been really, if you have a look at Gemma's profile, she has been sharing lots of her strength training, and you're quite good at sharing it now, aren't you?
I really enjoy sharing it because I want people to know that, do you know what? It's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to be the person that walks in the gym and doesn't know what the hell you're looking at, or to feel really lost.
Everybody's got to start somewhere, right?
They do. I just recommend that if you are that person, you get a really, really good trainer.
Yeah.
Someone that can take you in there, hold your hand, and be that person to show you the way. Because for me, I've been training with Charlotte Taylor Green, and she just knows her stuff. And she has just shown me so much that I never could have learnt on my own.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for her to kind of take my hands and be like, Gemma, it's okay. None of this is here to scare you. We'll take it really, really slowly. We're not going to touch weights. We're just going to do body weight to start with, and we're going to progress. But now, last week I got a hip thrust PB, I got a squat PB, I got all these PBs, but it's not come from, I started with a broomstick, Kelly.
Yeah.
I was the girl with a broomstick on my back because I couldn't lift a bar. Because actually a bar is 15 kilograms on its own.
I think a lot of people.
Did you know that?
No,
Did you know that? Did you know that?
Now.
15 kilograms.
I
yep.
thought that the bars.
You kind of imagine them to be light, don't you?
Yeah,
Like light?
So I picked up a
No.
bar, and I started maybe
Yeah.
not with the broomstick, but I started with just the bar.
See, you're ahead of me.
I was a bit better than
Yeah.
with just a broomstick.
Yeah.
But it's you started literally again from
Yeah.
from scratch, and you've built yourself.
And I was having this chat with Charlotte yesterday. She's like, you really did. You were fit as hell, but you were weak.
Yeah.
Like as in, and she
Do you
wasn't.
feel though that you need somebody to say to you, put it on the, you know, lay it down and say, yeah, you're weak, you need to work on your strength.
Yeah, I think she didn't even tell me I was weak. I knew it by what she was asking me to do. Like, she was asking me to do simple things like stand on one leg. And I was like, oh, couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I didn't, you know, do a lunge, get your knee to the floor. Couldn't do it. And I couldn't. And I think what I enjoy the most for me is sharing that journey authentically and being like, do you know what? I'm not here to show off. I'm not here to pretend I'm something I'm not. I'm a regular girl. I'm a mum. I'm trying to juggle everything, but actually I want to get better. Like, what have I got to do? Like, tell me what I've got to do to get better. Like, I don't have any problem admitting that I am not the best, because I'm not. And I don't want to be someone I'm not. I just want to share authentically how I've got where I am now, and that is just through asking. Ask for help. Don't be the person that's thinking, oh, I don't know how to do something. Ask someone that does. I didn't know. And if you don't know, there's no shame in saying, help me. People know way more than you, so do more with them. Like, let them show you the way. It's not a natural journey. You don't just walk in a gym and think, yeah, I know what to do. You don't.
Yeah, come on, you got it. Come on.
Well done, Gemma, come on! Well done!
Everything.
Good girl, well done. Okay, so while we're talking about Instagram, because social media, you're very good at sharing your journey on social media, and like you said, that you're showing that everybody's a beginner, you need to ask for help, all these positive things. Now you keep it very real on Instagram, don't you?
I try to.
Whether you're, you know, struggling with something, whether something's going well, what's working, what's not. You're very open with your 5K time trial attempts, you know, and you said it's not happened, but you know,
you've got to keep trying, and I think
yourself off and go again.
You've got to go again. So I had my race booked and I didn't do what I wanted. It was a very windy course, and I did 21:44, which wasn't a PB, it wasn't anywhere near it. So it's like, okay, I've just got to keep going. I don't just quit, you just keep going. It's learning to be in that furnace and knowing what pain is going to come your way, and just learning to be brave enough to stay there. And it's a learning process. It's not something I'm naturally very good at. You know, for me, it's like, you know, marathon running, like there's a Bunsen burner. 5K is here, your hand, you know, you're holding the heat here. Marathon, you're holding your hand here, but for much longer. It's a different burn. So I'm not good at that really intense, painful burn, but it's just a case of learning to stay there.
Well done, Gem.
I'm happy with that.
What's the scores on the jaws? On the jaws?
21:18.
21:18, which is a massive 40 odd
It's
seconds.
a Lydney Lake PB.
Lydney Lake PB.
I'll be back. So 21, I'm coming for you, Lydney Lake. Whew.
And that is a huge run, especially as Gemma PB'd on Sunday. She's done more speed sessions this week, and she did strength training yesterday. So to go and put in another big run like that today, her legs must be feeling toast.
Yep, pretty much.
But I think that's amazing, and just shows how much grit Gem's got to crack on and get it done. And this is where Gemma has inspired me actually to find out more about the pain cave.
Yeah, it's not nice, but it's actually, you get used to it. So when you're doing your sessions, like I do my sessions now, I do 2 a week, and it's just knowing that nothing bad happens when you're there. It's trusting that you won't die. Like, because you feel, I know I'm not really selling it, but it's trusting your body is going to hold up, and nothing's going to happen to you, because sometimes you do see black spots. Well, I do. Like, you'll see in my face around that leg is like, you know, I'm out of this world. My eyes are rolling in the back of my head. I think, how the hell am I going to stay here? Like, everything is screaming to stop. And it's just ignoring those voices and carrying on. It's not easy. I don't make it look easy, 'cause it's not.
Do you feel that by you being honest and open that it helps more people on Instagram?
I hope so. I hope that people know. I think it does help. I think you've got to have someone, and I know you're very, very much the same as me. I think it's all great to have these little squares of smiley, you know, it's all wonderful, but actually I'm really grateful for the support in my winning season right now, but people know what I lost in my losing season, and that's really important. I lost a lot. I had a very serious back injury last year ×2. I lost all my fitness, I lost all my confidence, and I think that by showing the injury and showing the low points, yes, it's fantastic when you've got those highs, but people know what it's taken to get here. It hasn't all been up like this. It's been down here, up here, down here again. It's been constant. It's been a journey of real lows where you're questioning, where am I going with this, and why me? And when you get injured, it's like, not again. But sometimes 2020 for me has been unpicking the reasons why I kept getting those back injuries, and it's the strength in the core that I neglected, and neglecting all the bits I needed to do, thinking that if I wore compression socks and just didn't do any speed, yeah, I would maintain, but I'd never get any better. I'd never break 21 minutes, which was the dream. I'd never do that without really tackling my demons head on of what I was doing wrong.
I do love that you kind of you strip it all back, and you do the work before you do the work, because you do the work to find out why is this not working. Whereas you could have tried to, you know, find that faster 5K plan somewhere or faster marathon time somewhere. No, you've taken it back again.
Yeah.
And you've
to basics,
yourself,
to nothing.
Okay, well, where's this going wrong? And that's taking time to figure out what's gone wrong and how to fix it.
Yeah.
And I think more people can probably do that with their training, that they want to improve at the marathon time, they want to improve at the half marathon time, 5K, whatever distance it is. I think sometimes people are afraid to go and step too far back.
Yeah.
But that step, you have to go
You
that
do.
far back
I
to
mean,
go forward.
you do. And also my goal is always going to be the marathon. I've got, you know, I've got my dream marathon time in my mind, but that isn't going to happen without that 5K time. And I've been told time and time again it starts at the 5K, but I didn't believe it because I wasn't a 5K runner. Well, Gemma, why aren't you a 5K runner? It's because you've never actually properly trained for a 5K, have you? No, you haven't, Gemma. So stop believing your own BS on why you're not something. Well, I'm not a 5K runner because I've never given it a proper shot. I'd never really gone all in on it. I've just flirted with it, but you've got to marry it. You've got to go in at it and really devote your time and effort into that 5K. It's got to be your focus. My focus now is not distance. Distance is not on my agenda.
That will always be probably your first love.
Yeah, it's always going to be my first love.
But you, like you said, you've got to go back to improve on that. And
You do.
That's something that's rubbed off on me, certainly. Because,
Good.
you know, I want to improve my marathon time, and the only time that I can, I was very much kind of what you were describing then.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know I'm a marathon runner, I'm an ultra runner.
Yeah, I'm this, I'm that.
I don't need
but
to be good at
but
the
Kel,
5K.
you believe the narrative you tell yourself. If you tell yourself, I'm not something, you're going to believe it.
Yeah.
So what about if you change the narrative and you say, do you know what? I'm going to try and be a 5K. I'm not pretending I'm a great 5K runner, I'm not. But I'm going to try my best to be the best I can be, and scrap the excuses you've been telling yourself of why you can't be something. And I know you're very much the same as me. It's like, I'm an ultra runner or I'm a marathon runner. You can be anything you want, but you have to believe a narrative you tell yourself. You have to believe that within yourself of what you are. And you can only do that if you believe what you're telling yourself. And I always told myself, oh, well, I'm not a 5K runner. I'm just not. That's not me. But the reason I wasn't was because I hadn't ever tried. And I was scared of trying. But then if you're not scared of failing, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? You fail, so what?
Yeah.
Try again.
Try again, or you forget it.
Yeah,
You either find out whether you really do want it, or you don't.
crack on.
Yeah.
Just keep going until you get the result that you want.
Yeah.
Just keep trying.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so I love that. I love your attitude towards training. I love everything about that. But you've gone one step further, and now you've decided to help others achieve their goals,
I have.
their dreams.
I have.
Which is absolutely amazing. And you are more specifically geared towards
Women. Yeah.
because you know yourself the importance of being mum, being a woman.
I
but
do.
The importance of exercise, of goals.
I do.
All of this. So now you have done your coaching qualifications, haven't you?
I'm waiting for my.
COVID's interrupted
Oh,
a little bit of
COVID's
it.
really has put a spanner in the works. I'm waiting for just one day 4 and then I'm qualified.
You've launched your coaching business.
I have.
Which is
This Girl Can Coaching.
little plug.
Yeah.
But it's amazing because you have already got some amazing women on your books.
I have. I'm really lucky.
With some amazing women. How important is it for you to help other women achieve their goals?
It's massively important. I mean, running is just the vehicle that you use to get the best out of yourself. It's the vehicle you use to become more confident. It's running, it's never really about the running. Like, yes, you can improve, yes, you can get faster, but it's the relationships you build out of getting better. It's the friendships that you make through running. It's the community. It's being the best you. And there's nothing for me more empowering than helping. I just want others to get out of running what I have. It's changed my life. It's made me a different person. It's made me a better person. And I just want others to get out of running what I have. And it's just, you're never done, like you're never finished. It's like, it is the journey. I had a message from one of my girls yesterday. She's like, Gemma, I'm the best I've ever been. And we haven't even reached the goal yet. She's doing an ultra next year, but it's not about the goal. It never has been. It's about the journey. It's about how you get there, the setbacks, how you deal with those. It's about supporting people through their lowest points, but celebrating their highs. It's not just about the race. It's everything else. It's about dedicating your training amongst family life. I know that it's not easy. I live that life. It's difficult, but it's about supporting people through the process of being a mum and, just juggling life and actually getting the best out of yourself. And I just love it. I just really enjoy the interactions that I have and the support, but also the real talk. Sometimes you've got to be quite strict. And, my attitude is plan is life. So I like my girls to have that same mindset that actually that plan is really important and it needs to be done. So sometimes it's hard conversations about how much do you really want this? And you've got to really want it.
But I think it works well. I think it works well that you are so matter of fact and you are so straight down the line, and this is how it is.
It is, yeah. You've got to sometimes have that tough conversation of what you want to do and how you're going to get there.
I think I know personally, like if somebody's a bit soft on me,
yeah,
I'm trying to get this. I need people to be hard on me.
You
because
do.
If I'm given the soft option, it's natural, I think, for a lot of us to just say that's the easier option.
Yeah,
let's just go that way. So if somebody's like, it's okay if you've missed so many runs this week just because you didn't want to do it.
It's not okay.
Coach and you're paying.
It's not actually.
If you want to get better, then actually, Coach Gemma here will be breathing fire.
It's not good enough, and you have to have somebody that is very black and white. But obviously, understanding that life sometimes gets in the way, I understand that. But
and that's it. Your mother.
I get it, but
you get it.
Unless there's a really good reason for you missing your session, then you're cheating yourself.
Okay, come on then, Gem. Right.
Cheating yourself.
What's my good get out excuse for your session?
Are you alive?
I'm alive and I'm in working order. Is there anything that you would accept?
No.
No?
No, not really.
Okay, so your leg's got to be hanging off.
No, but we're going to do our Pace 5K, aren't we? That's been agreed today.
Gemma's going to pace me in a couple of weeks when I have another bash at the 5K.
Yeah, which is something I love to do. Pacing is something I'm really passionate about. I love it. I haven't done it in ages, so forgive me if I get a bit enthusiastic about it because I really love it. I get really passionate about it because I know how it feels to get the best out, to get the best out of you, or just make me feel so happy. I'll be buzzing.
That just sums you up.
I know. I just can't wait.
You're enthusiastic.
I know.
Your enthusiasm just absolutely radiates from you. But you're so enthusiastic about running and about actually just life. I think just getting the most out of life, and whether that's running, whether that's strength,
doesn't matter.
Whatever it is to whoever. You just got enthusiasm by the bucket loads.
Just show up.
Just show up.
Just show up.
And I think it's safe to say that Gemma is what we call a grafter. You are an absolute diamond, and I can't wait to see you. What's the plan now? Are you going to carry on working at the 5K
Yep,
for a bit?
haven't finished.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've gone under 21 now, but that isn't where I want to finish. I know that I can do more, so I'm going to keep chipping away at it, keep doing time trials. I don't need that medal, I don't need that race, I just need that result. So for me, I'm chasing a result, not a race.
Yeah.
So you can pick anywhere that's flat, quiet, you can just go after it at any time you like. You don't need a race.
Yeah.
2020's shown you anything. Your goals don't stop just because the world has. You can go and find a quiet place and just get on with it, get your head down and get on with it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. You don't need a race
You don't.
to work hard.
You don't. And I think that that's actually separated a lot of runners in 2020 is those that need that medal, that race, and those that actually just want self-improvement. I'm that camp. I'm not the medal camp. I don't even hang my medals up. I'm not a medal person. I know we're a bit different like that, but I don't like medals. It's the memories for me that I collect and the achievement and just trying to push myself. So I don't need to be on power of 10 to know that I've gone under 21 minutes. I know that I've done it. So yeah.
Amazing.
Keep going.
Keep going. And
Yeah.
maybe the marathon next year if they come up.
I'm probably going to go down Ultra Town again. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to be doing a double act, aren't we? Yeah.
Chasing her around.
Yeah, I want to do it in one go. That's my big goal next year, doing 100k one go. You know, really go in at it, but because I haven't done it before, so it's a new challenge. I've done it in 2 days. I want to do it over one.
Yeah,
so I don't think road marathons are really going to be on next year, if I'm honest. I think that trail ultras have got more chance because of social distancing going on next year than marathons. I don't think we've got hope in hell of having a proper road marathon next year, but that's fine because I'll just keep working. It doesn't really matter.
Keep showing up.
Yeah, keep going.
No doubt whatsoever. So I will be really interested to see. Maybe Gemma will come back again in a month and have another crack at the Lydney 5K.
Why not?
We'll see where she.
I hear there's a leaderboard.
Yes. So
Tell them about the leaderboard.
I will. I'll show you in a minute, but I will show you. There is now a leaderboard for the Lydney Lake 5K. So if you do want to come and have a crack and you are in the area, obviously we've got to be aware of COVID and the rules at the moment with who knows what, everything's up in the air, but there is a leaderboard ongoing. So if you do fancy coming and having a crack and being on the leaderboard and picking somebody on the leaderboard, you could pick Gemma.
No.
Gemma, because
Well-
that will put some more fire into her.
Yeah, I'll come back.
But yeah, I will show you the leaderboard in a minute. But other than that, Gemma, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh,
speaking to
thank you.
I will put all of Gemma's links below, so please do go check her out on Instagram. You can check out her website. Is your website live now for coaching?
It is.
You can also check out
It
her
is.
website for coaching, and I do thoroughly recommend Gemma as a coach. And I can do that. I have got a different coach. I have to say loyal to Matt. But if I wasn't with Matt,
Shh, don't tell him.
I've got my boyfriend coach and then
Yeah.
the best friend.
Yeah.
So,
You're covered.
I'm covered. But I do recommend, even if you want to go and pop along and speak to Gemma, she's really good with some advice, and you're always very open, aren't you?
Absolutely.
And she will respond. Okay, that's it. So,
That's it.
That's it.
Thanks for having me.
So here is the Lydney Lake leaderboard. Now, obviously quite a few people have done the Lydney Lake 5K as a segment, whether realising it or not, more local people. I haven't included them on here, just the ones that are kind of on social media and I know have actually attempted Lydney Lake. So there it is. If you fancy picking anybody on there and having a crack, obviously I'm bringing up the rear. And then we've got Matt at the top, which I'd love for him to be knocked off. It's a very crude first edition. I will jazz it up a little bit, but if you do have a go at Lydney Lake 5K, if you're passing through the area or you come specifically to do it, let me know and I can pop you on the leaderboard. But that's it for this episode of Run With. I really hope that you've enjoyed hearing from Gemma. I love her passion and I love how down the line she is. She's very straight talking. If you'd like to follow Gemma on Instagram or go and check out her website, please do check the links below. If you have liked this episode, please do give a thumbs up, share and subscribe, hit the notification bell. We've still got some really interesting people coming up on Run With. Other than that, stay safe and happy running.